Mark Cerny, who has since a British game developer. I think he's based in Japan now. He worked at Universal Interactive Studios, and he was sort of credited in sort of helping make Crash Bandicoot come to life. So that's cool. Obviously, you have these crates right here. If you hold the jump button, you can get some extra air time, which is neat. Nice. Oh, get the mask! Yeah. And obviously, we're on a 2D plane now. I think as we continue through this first part of the game, you'll realize that a lot about Crash Bandicoot is timing. Like when you jump, Crash has like the same momentum. Like it's not like in Sonic or in Donkey Kong Country or in Mario, where your character's running momentum affects how they jump, but it still feels fine all the same. But it's just precision. It's more based on precision and just waiting, timing everything perfectly, so that doesn't happen. If you look, not so much as this early game, but its sequels, you can tell that this game was inspired more so like MGM and Warner Brothers cartoons, like Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny, that sort of thing. More than like Japanese anime or Disney, which I think is great. I like Studio Ghibli, and I like anime, and I like animation of all sorts, including Disney. But it's nice to have inspirations from like Tex Avery or Looney Tunes every now and again. Like it doesn't always have to be the same inspirations. You do also get portrayals of indigenous people here, which is I haven't heard anyone complain, and it's not really my right. It's not really my right to complain. So that's neat. Cultural studies. You collect three tokens of a character that isn't you, and you get transported to a bonus stage. That's neat. So, and again, it's all about precision and timing. Timing! Nice. And you are rewarded for your exploits. The Tana character, for some reason, she wouldn't reappear for a while. She's like the Pauline of the Crash series, I guess. She would reappear in other games in the future, but as the original PlayStation games rolled on, I think she would be replaced by this other character, which we'll get to. Oh no, which we'll get to sometime. I think they just made the change because I think someone at Universal, if I remember correctly, they were saying like Tana's too sexy. This is a kid's game. That's disgusting. But yep. And here's the progress screen if you don't get boxes, and also don't die. So yeah. But yeah, when this game came out, almost holiday season, 1996, was a killer app. The PlayStation had a game that looked great, played great, had personality, and it was all good. Here we are at a part of the game where we're gonna Indiana Jones it. Boulder. Very frightening. I won't go into too much about this game's jump physics, but Crash has very weird jump physics in this game. They would change it significantly for its sequels. But yeah, it's easy to manage. It's kind of weird, but especially if you played 2 and 3. But it's no sweat, no big deal. Not the end of the world. Checkpoint. Oh, can I make it? Yes. This might be the hardest out of the first three. Out of the first three, this one is the hardest, I feel. And I don't think there's much debate in that sort of thing. Mark Mothersbaugh, who is a film and TV composer, he composed the music for this game. He worked on Rugrats, and he did the music to the Lego movie more recently, and soundtrack's okay. And we got another gem. We got 2! What is this? What? How did we get 2? Well, that's the secret. That's part of the charm. So many secrets in great video games that keep you playing and that add to the charm. Like, it's very similar to Sonic the Hedgehog and Donkey Kong Country in the way that the more you progress through the game, the more industrial and the more I don't know, abstract and more diverse the levels get. Like, you'll explore caves and caverns. Right now we're going up a river, which is cool. But you also explore, like, factories and, like, science laboratories and stuff. So that's cool. Check out the versatility of Crash Bandicoot Spin. You can... Very Tasmanian... not Tasmanian Tiger, but Tasmanian Devil inspired. There, with the spin. Whoa! So that's neat. And also you get, like, old stone ruins here, which isn't really explored all that much. I mean, there's this mystical mask that helps you out, but other than that, there's not much. Don't kill me. That's cool. Everything's good. All's good. Wow! And we can go to our next bonus stage. So, the development... There was... I will say there was... Oh, I'm gonna mess this up hard. Maybe not. Okay. There was plans to include animated, like traditionally animated cutscenes in this game, but that was on the Universal end. But Sony at the time, they were like, we kind of don't want to. One, this is bad. You can look it up on YouTube. One, this is bad, and two, it's not very good. And two, we want to push 3D. 3D is the word of the day here. We don't want your 2D nonsense. Even though there were some great 2D games on the PlayStation and other places at the time, and perhaps the push to make everything 3D wasn't the most ideal for every video game series or every developer. But yeah. I mean Sega was having a hard time trying to figure out Sonic in 3D, and it would take them until like 1998 until we got a true 3D Sonic game. Here we are at our first boss. The chief, the head honcho, Papu Papu. And there he is. We're gonna take care of him. I do want to get to other bosses in the game. There we go. Whee! Whee! Oh! Oh, come on, dude. Just easy attacks. Just jump on him when he's not doing his thing. If I die, I'm gonna... There we go. I'm gonna be disappointed in myself. And there we go. The character would make reappearances throughout the series. In like sequels. Not in 2 or 3, but like the kart racing spin-off and other games. So we'll continue and mosey on our little way to a band, it seems. I will say Crash Bandicoot, since Sony is a Japanese country, since Sony is a Japanese company, and the PlayStation has its origins in Japan. There I go again. Crash Bandicoot was the first. It was the first Western game to really do find legitimate popularity in the West, in Japan, which is cool. Obviously, they had to make some changes to the packaging and Crash's design in advertisements, but Japan seemed to enjoy Crash Bandicoot. So I don't know why. I don't know why necessarily that is. He's a character that can be cute. So yeah. Birth. So this game was really This game was really the debut of a video game icon. And as I said, there's legitimate things that stick with people about the character and about the game. Yeah. The game is simple, but not like too simple. And it's a fun time. Oh no! Okay, there we go. Just gotta time everything right. I do want to get to the second boss, which shouldn't be too far off here. Crash Bandicoot launched a series where the original developers, Naughty Dog, would develop the next 2 games and a kart racing spin-off. Then Universal would hold on to the license and give it to other developers, and they would make Crash games for different for all systems, including Sony PlayStation 1s. So that would be like, that's kind of weird, but yeah, Sony never really owned Crash Bandicoot fully. I mean, these PlayStation games, the original PlayStation games, you can only get these versions on PS1 and PlayStation platforms. I'm playing this on the PlayStation 3 via the PlayStation PS1 Classics thing that Sony was doing for quite a while into the PlayStation 3's life. And now we're talking about the PlayStation 5. Isn't that kooky? So yeah. And another level done. The games were remastered and sort of quote-unquote remade in 2017. Since Activision, the guys behind Call of Duty and Guitar Hero, they acquired the license via company mergers. And you can play the remakes of these games. Those are really easy to come by. And Crash Bandicoot isn't that hard to come by either.